What conspiracy theory do you fully believe is true? Netflix marketing team releases memes about shows to give off the appearance that everyone is watching said show. Since people have FOMO, they watch the shows to understand the memes until everyone eventually does watch it. For many years people were considered crazy for saying the government is spying on everything you do online. Then the leaks started. Jill Dando was taken out by a hitman as she was about to blow the Savile case wide open. Lots of people in high positions didn't want Savile pointing fingers while he was still alive. People who post on Ask Reddit are BuzzFeed writers looking for content. Huge investment banks and hedge funds effectively close out the retail investor from taking advantage of stock movements. Never mind, that has recently been proved to be true. That all of those souvenir shops on prominent shopping streets in London, England are money laundering fronts. You know, the ones with the massive floor space selling key rings and knockoff hoodies that say TikTok or something yet have no customers, except young male staff sat about on their phones? How on earth would a not very busy shop survive in Europe's most expensive retail space other than that? Also factoring in a global pandemic and a massive reduction in international tourists, who they are presumably aimed at, yet they show no signs of shutting down. They also all appear to be owned by the same person and stock the same merchandise. TLDR, Oxford Street souvenir shops are all money laundering premises. The FBI murdered Fred Hampton. Someone paid off someone, so there are no paprika flavor potato chips in Lithuania in all major supermarkets but one. 3 months ago you could find it anywhere, and it was like the 3rd or 4th most popular, I think. That there are people rich enough to disappear. There must be some billionaires we've never heard of. That the art market is actually a huge money laundering scheme. I don't remember where I read this, but it said that kingpins and criminals will often buy paintings and sculptures for millions of dollars in order to make dirty money transactions legal. I think the trend where you show a picture of yourself now versus 10 years ago was promoted, if not invented, by Facebook-owned social media companies in order to train artificial intelligence to be able to recognize and analyze how faces age. The Dom/family meme was created as a PR stunt for the new Fast and Furious movie. I'm torn between the government being completely aware of extraterrestrial contact and that the government is purposely leading people to believe that there's an extraterrestrial cover-up in order to cover up advanced technology testing. Jess's girl and Stas's mom are the same person. When I was in high school, my friends and I came up with this conspiracy theory between us that the theater kids are covering up for something because they act like a cult and talk about the theater teacher like he's their personal Jim Jones. 2 years after graduating, I find out he's been arrested for sexually molesting his female students and was only found out because he thought he could trust this freshman new theater kid and started showing him all the naked pics he's taken with those girls. Kid turned around and reported him the next day. The other theater kids went on social media to defend their god anyway. The vertical bar DEURE. Edit. Wow, it's so shitty to see how common this is. In case you're wondering if it's your school, it's PHS, and as with Mr. Werner Gerard as a pedo in question, and yes, he's in jail. Operation Northwoods, where the Joint Chiefs of Staff conspired to destroy their own property/kill US citizens in order to raise popular support for a war with Cuba. Thank God Kennedy nixed it. CSI television shows purposely overplay the forensic capabilities of various law enforcement departments to help project an image of total competence. The TrueCrypt organization was bullied/bought off into suddenly ceasing operations to encourage other closed source encryption alternatives with backdoors. There is a local pharmacy in my town and I have not seen anyone in it my whole life. I've lived here since I was 6 and I'm 22 now. I think money laundering. But not sure. My own local conspiracy theory. Edit. I tried to call and it's been closed for 2 months. Fuck me. I gotta do more research, will report back. Just going to mention one I read the last time this was asked. The US military influenced the popularity of high school football to make sure HS graduates were in great shape when they signed up for service. There was never a shortage of Krispy Kreme donuts. Area 51 was a conspiracy theory started by the US government to lead the Soviet Union into falsely believing that the US had alien technology during the Cold War. Ken Lay from Enron faked his own death so he can escape the US and not serve his time for the fraud he was convicted of. I believe he is alive and well, living off the $300mm he stole from Enron. Edit. Changed earned to stole. That The Killer Clowns of 2016 was originally a promotion for It, but it got out of hand. Edit. For those of you who don't know what I mean, I'm taking about the movie It, with the clown that lives in the sewers. Edit. Wow. 12k upvotes, that's more than 5 upvotes. That Disney was confident that Clinton would win the 2016 election, so they had already completed the animatronic for the Hall of Presidents, but then Trump won, so they sloppily altered the Clinton animatronic to look sort of like him. Edit. Be the judge for yourself. The AirPod meme when AirPods were released was a marketing gimmick by Apple to sell and promote AirPods. Op is trying to get people taken out. My mom has a theory that whenever a contestant on Wheel of Fortune gets greedy and spins when the puzzle is clearly easily solvable, they manipulate the wheel to land on bankrupt. Also, whenever there is a good looking girl on, she believes they manipulate the game so that girl wins. Edit. Thanks for all the replies. I didn't think this many people would take it this seriously, but I have heard of the quiz show scandal, that's why I don't really believe these theories. It's more of a fun, harmless talking point when it does happen. Can't speak for my mom though, she may truly believe it. That a vast majority of Reddit is astroturfed. This theory, by a Redditor which was later removed, and the user was site-wide banned for reasons I don't know. Robert Kardashian destroyed evidence that would have convicted Oj. He was handed a Louis Vuitton garment bag by Oj's assistant right as Oj returned from Chicago. None of the cops paid any attention to him as he walked away with the bag. When the bag theory was discovered a month later, Kardashian claimed to have lost it. Big purses in bed with small pockets. I was going to a mega church that kept expanding in a poor part of town, buying up all the property around it. There was a laundromat that was a holdout, wouldn't sell for anything. One night, that laundromat burned down. The church graciously helped them clean up the site, then they finally sold. It's not a stretch at all to see what really happened. The measuring lines on your detergent container are way more than you actually need, so you use it faster and buy more detergent. If your towels smell musty after you wash and dry them, it is because of all the excess soap that didn't rinse out. Human cloning has already been done or attempted. We cloned a sheep named Dolly in 1996, and humans aren't that much different to sheep in their early blastocyst or embryonic development. Some government agency has probably cloned a human and are watching over that person right now. There is no way the 50 over 50 lifeline on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is completely random. It always leaves the two choices the contestant was talking about. New Coke was a cover for switching to high fructose corn syrup. I once saw in one of those YouTube compilation videos one of these posts where a comment said that they were convinced these posts come up every now and then for Big Brother to check on the popularity of conspiracy theories, and now, seeing this here, I kinda have to agree. That the pilot of MH370 committed a mass murder suicide. That some acts on America's Got Talent are paid actors. My favorite is more of a conspiracy debunk. The moon landing was real because if it *was** faked, Russia would have called the US out on their bullshit immediately.